Hi guys, how are you doing? This is Sebastian from techcentury and welcome back after a little Christmas break. Happy New Year to all of you guys. I hope that you're doing well and welcome to my first video of 2015, which is the unboxing and first look of the Creative T6 Series 2 speakers. So here we already see the box of these speakers, and you might remember that I actually unboxed the Creative T3, which I also did a drop test of the subwoofer of, so hopefully this won't happen again here with these new speakers. And these are basically the step-up version of the T3, so we now have actually two separate speakers on top of each other, and this is still a 2.1 system with 5.1 virtual surround sound, but I don't really care about the virtual surround sound. We also have Bluetooth, so we can connect, for example, our smartphone wirelessly. But enough talking, let's actually get into the box. Now, these speakers usually retail for around $399 US or also 399 euros here in Germany. But I was actually able to pick them up on sale directly from the Creative online store here in Germany, where they had them for 249. So I think that should be a pretty nice deal for these speakers. So here we have a box inside the box, so we'll quickly take a look at this first. So here we have this little box, and I assume that all the accessories will be in here, as well as also the satellite speakers. So let's actually flip this open, and there we see that I was right. So let's start with the boring part. We have, of course, a power cable with the European plug because I'm based in Germany. Then we also have another power plug for the UK actually, so yes, this will also work in the UK, of course. And then we also have a USB cable, because these are USB speakers, so the sound quality should also be better than if you just connect it via the 3.5mm cable, which was actually the only possibility to connect the T3, so hopefully also better sound quality there. Then we also have this little USB Bluetooth dongle right here. If your computer doesn't have Bluetooth, then you can just use this. Fortunately, the Mac Pro has Bluetooth, and basically every other device that I own. Still nice that it's included though. Then we also have a little remote, so this is also an advantage over the T3s. The T3s don't have a remote, but here the T6 do, so just basically skip the track, volume, aux, USB, Bluetooth, so input control and on and off. Then we also have a regular Chinch to 3.5mm cable to connect these speakers. A lot of cables in here. And then we also have the control port right here, which is pretty similar to what you'll find on the T3s as well. But as we see right here, it not only has here the headphone jack, so a 3.5mm plug, but also the power on and off switch, as well as source switch, and then also the Bluetooth indicator, as well as a Bluetooth pairing button on the side, and another aux in as well. So now let's actually get the satellite speakers out of here. So let's take this first box out of the way and carefully unwrap them. Again, especially since I had such bad experiences with the unboxing of my T3s, I want to be extra careful here that this doesn't happen again. So let's actually pull the plastic off, and there we have the T6. So the first impression is really nice. They actually look better than I thought, and even though they're quite similar to my T3s, they're actually bigger, and of course also we have two drivers instead of one. We also have a very soft material here on the bottom, which is basically like rubber, so that it doesn't slide around on your desk. And then if we take off here the plastic, then we also see that we have this very nice chrome finish, which is probably a little bit difficult to see. And then on the top we actually have the same chrome finish. So this looks incredibly nice, and also just premium overall. And of course, one thing that we can also do right here is that we can actually swivel around the top speaker here, but actually just to this one direction, I think. So yeah, it only swivels to one direction. So I assume that's also good enough, because the right one would, for example, rotate to the right and the other one to the left. But I actually thought it rotates to both sides, so not quite sure why this is the case. But first impressions are really nice. So here we have the second speaker. Of course, not really a big surprise there. And yes, as I thought, this one rotates to the left and not to the right. So they also only rotate into one direction, but that's good enough, because I probably just leave them at this configuration so that I basically have both drivers facing my ears. And then of course we also have the plug right here, which is proprietary, it seems, so you can just hook up other speakers. And then surprisingly, we have another Bluetooth adapter in here in this box. This is actually for older iPhones or iPods. I don't really have any use for it, but still very nice that this is included as well. Then of course we also have some paperwork right here. 10 euro e-music card as well. Not gonna read through all of this. So yeah, paperwork isn't really necessary, especially with speakers that aren't really that complicated. So here we have the subwoofer, and it basically looks identical to the subwoofer that you'd also find on the Creative T3. So we have this SLAM technology again, which basically means that the subwoofer that's integrated into this fires to 3 sides instead of only one. So we also have an outlet here on the right side, and then also on the left side it's fairly heavy as well. And then here on the back we basically find all the controls. So we have the AC in, of course, and then the ports for the speakers as we had seen right there. Also an audio in, which is the Chinch. Then also the port here for this audio controller that we have, this wired controller. Of course also the USB port to connect these speakers digitally to your computer or Mac. And then also here a knob to control the bass level. And from my experience, it's pretty good in the middle, because otherwise it's just too much bass to endure. But this really produced a lot of bass, so I'm very happy with the subwoofer already on the T3s. So this will also wrap up the unboxing part. I'm really happy to see that they not only included the USB Bluetooth adapter, but also this adapter for the older iPhones or iPods. I don't actually have an iPod or iPhone which I would need this adapter for, but it's still just nice to see that this is included. Also, this control knob is really nice. I already like it on my T3 speakers. And of course, it's a big bonus that we get a real remote control as well here in this package. And so far, I'm just very impressed, especially also with the design of these satellite speakers. I'll now take my time to actually hook this up on my setup, and then I'll get back to you guys. See you soon. So here I have the Creative T6 Series 2 all set up. And I just want to share my first impressions with you guys. First off, I think they look very nice, especially the satellite speakers with the chrome finish on top and bottom. Also, they're quite a bit bigger than the T3s, and not only because they have 2 drivers on top of each other, but also that the drivers itself are a little bit bigger. And then one thing or 2 minor gripes that I found so far is that if you actually connect them using USB to your Mac, then you don't have volume control, the built-in volume control that you would have in Mac OS usually. So you can't control, for example, the volume from your keyboard, which is definitely a downfall for me. In addition to that, you also don't have them angled. So they're not angled towards your ear like the T3s are, and that's also a minor gripe. Now, of course, I could connect, for example, these speakers using Bluetooth to the Mac Pro, or also the Chinch cable in order to really regain the ability to control the volume. But then again, the quality shouldn't be as good as if you would use USB. And also I have some bugs with Yosemite and the headphone port. So that's also not a solution for me. So I guess I'll just have to get used to using the control knob, or also the remote, which is fortunately included. Again, in terms of design, I'm very happy, and the sound quality is absolutely impressive. I listened to maybe half an hour of music by now, and also watched 1 or 2 movie trailers, and the sound quality was just absolutely amazing. So in terms of sound quality, I'm very impressed. Just a little bit disappointed that I can't control the volume using the controls in macOS, but that's again not really an issue of the speakers, but that I didn't know that if you use USB devices like these speakers, then you can control the volume. But anyways, this will also wrap up here my video of front unboxing and first look of these Creative T6 Series 2 speakers. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of these speakers in the comment section down below. Maybe you also have some experience with creative gear in the past. I'm eager to hear what you guys have to say. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for many more tech videos. For behind the scenes stuff, make sure to like my Facebook fan page, where I post, for example, pictures of these devices before the videos actually go up. And again, thanks for watching. See you next time.